TK is joined by two of the biggest Mavs fans I know as we tip off our MFFL series here, joined by Linda and Mark Thompson, the creative minds behind LoveThoseMavs.com. And I got to know this couple and their family pretty well during this great, incredible season, a championship season. First of all, welcome to Mavs.com. I've been wanting to actually get you guys on for a while, but just talk about the idea of coming up with traveling into all 30 arenas, of course, this one right being in your backyard, but all 30 arenas, and then seeing this team win a championship. First of all, how did you come up with the idea?
Well, I'll let Mark explain that.
It started off as we were just sitting around thinking, okay, 30 years of marriage is coming up, and we thought, what do you want to do? You want to go on a cruise? What do you want to do? We started thinking 30 years, and how many teams are there in the NBA? 30. And it started off kind of as a joke, and then turned into a dare, and here we are. We did it. But it was just something different we wanted to do. We love the Mavericks, and we started looking at the schedule thinking, I think we can do this. I think we can actually do it. A little tough up in the Northeast during the heart of winter, but it all came together, and we got it done. So it started off as a dare, but it ended up, we got it done.
Now, how'd you let him talk you into this? I know he's an avid sports fan, but you're a Mavs fan, but 30 arenas? I mean, I recognize 30-year anniversary. That's a special thing, but did he have to do some persuasion there?
No, he didn't. I absolutely love the Mavs, and so it was exciting to travel and see Mavs fans at other arenas, and I like to travel anyway, so that kind of threw in a little bit of travel plans and adventures as we went to each city, and we also got to meet a lot of our family members across the nation as we were traveling, so that was fun too.
And I can verify that they were in every arena that I was at because I always saw them. But just talk about how special it was going into some of these venues. You're talking about like a Madison Square Garden, even the Staples Center, the history, the new Boston Garden, the history behind each building, but getting to be a part of it, and then also seeing the team, whether they were triumphant or whether they were losing on that night, getting to see the reaction from the team. A lot of fans don't see that on a nightly basis.
We were there at shoot-around practice. We tried to get there. She would take pictures and chronicle all the stadiums, all the sites around the stadium, and I would sit and watch practice. And we got to meet a lot of the Mavs people. That's how we met you, Earl. And but we saw everything, and we saw it. Like you said, it runs the gamut. The stadiums. We have a whole new appreciation for the AAC. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's definitely one of the top few. Some of them were nice. Some of them were not so nice. But every city was different. Every city was different. It had a different feel. It had a different intensity. Some of them were not as nice. Some of them were real friendly. But every city was different. Every city was different, and it was fun on the road. I have a whole new respect for you guys traveling like you do. That's really something.
Well, and that was probably a very intriguing thing that we as business owners saw how the Mavs set up everything. You know, each person's responsibility with the team and who did the equipment and their uniforms and logistics and, you know, even report writing. After I got home after a game, it's like, oh, I'm too tired, I can't write anything. So I have appreciation for just about everybody's job on the team because it is a task. Traveling is tiring, and you definitely appreciate the team and the logistics of everything a lot more when you see that.
And then in the cyber world that we live in, of course, everyone has a blog, everyone has a website, but none as interesting, I'll say, as you guys. I love the fact that you guys chronicled your whole experience, not just going into the arenas, but special stories that would come along with that. Just talk about how special that was. Now, looking back, I don't know if you had a chance to go back and look at some of the old posts that you put up, but just looking back on that, now that this team has won a championship.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's kind of surreal that we actually did that in that time period and everything that we experienced. And the Mavs winning, it was just the icing on the cake. And we weren't going to go to the Miami game, but I told him, why are we going? We've been everywhere. Why are we?
She said we won't be married another 30 years if you don't take me to Miami. So we got to go to Miami.
So that was probably the only threat there was, is not going to Miami with him. But we're so glad we did. It was just awesome to be there and see them win the trophy and Don Carter there. It was really a neat experience, lifetime experience.
What was the most special experience leading up to that point? Of course, we all remember the crazy road this team had. starting out 24-5, and then injury bug really bit this team. But then playoffs, having to go through some really stiff competition. But what was the most lasting memory you can look back on and sticks out in your mind right now?
Oh man, as the energy grew towards the playoffs, we thought, well, we knew they'd make it to the playoffs, and we thought, well, maybe one or two rounds would just be great. And it got closer and closer, and we started thinking they're going to win this thing this year. They're actually going to win this thing, and it was just a dream year for us. Every stadium and every city had its moments. They were all cool. We have some favorites, we have some not so favorites, but just the energy level leading up to the finals was just magical.
Beating the Lakers in the finals 4-0 was awesome. That was redemption. We were so thrilled that happened for them, especially after the loss in LA. We were at that game. It was bizarre game. But our kids were there with us, and so that was nice to have them there. And we got to meet Mark Cuban, but and spend some time with him. But beating the Lakers 4-0 in the finals was awesome.
I remember that loss in L.A. That was a very bizarre. We had a lot going on in the crowd, a lot going on the sidelines that game. But I really think it showed how collective this team was and how they were able to come. I mean, that's right before the close of the regular season and then going on a historic run in the playoffs. My question to you two are you willing to do this again?
Absolutely. And all kidding aside, we are definitely going to go to some more games. We kept thinking of a short list of some of our favorite cities. Well, that short list kept getting bigger and bigger, but we've literally got 10 to 15 venues that we definitely want to go back to next year. It was so much fun. It was stressful, the packing and the travel and the weather up in the Northeast. Again, I don't know how y'all do that, but we're definitely going to go back because we saw old friends on the road that we hadn't seen. We took family.
And we've met a lot of Mavs fans all over the nation, and we're still in contact with several of them. And if they come here to Dallas, we make sure that we give up some tickets for them to go and enjoy the Mavs here in the home court. So it's been really really neat. I had some interesting facts here. 82 games, 41 home, 41 away. We attended 35 home games, so we missed 6 home games because we were traveling. So we tried to go to the game the day before, so we missed a couple of games at home. And then the away games, we went to 29 away games because 30 is here. Right. So we only missed 18 away games. So we went to a total of 64 total games out of 81. So I think we did pretty good.
She's the statistician. She's the statistician.
I believe I covered 112 games. So for you guys and that's from the preseason all the way through game 6 of the finals. But I mean, that's just phenomenal for two clear-cut fans, obviously. Two crazy clear-cut fans, Mavs fans for life.
Wearing wigs and painting our body. I tried to get him to paint his head, but he wouldn't paint his head. But, we love the Mavericks, and we do support them wholeheartedly.
All right, well, it's been a pleasure to get to know you two and your family. I can speak, this is a couple and a family of faith, so just sharing stories with you two, and it couldn't happen to a nicer couple to see you guys on the road, and I look forward to seeing you along the road also. Great start for our MFFL series here on Mavs.com. Linda, Mark Thompson, Earl K. Sneed signing off here on Mavs.com.
That's her Don Noble official sign.
Yeah, he signed it for
That's
me.
who we're going to talk